Tattoos hang from his arms like picture frames, reminding him that his skin isn't infinite. She killed one of my kids, he says. This is Charlie. The same Charlie who's reminded by ambulances flying past with their sirens on that he needs to light another cigarette. Charlie spent 4 years in the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps for the Air Force. That motherfucker could twirl a rifle blindfolded like a scalpel in a surgeon's hand. And 2 weeks before he's to ship off for basic training, his girlfriend's jealous father catches wind that Charlie might be making something of himself, so he beats her to nothing more than a pile of dead leaves and tells the judge that Charlie did it. In a judicial system where justice is first come, first served, Charlie gets charged with battery. The military doesn't want anything to do with him. The Air Force doesn't take wife beaters who get caught. The one dream poverty couldn't take away was bought out by another man. But Charlie works at a fast food restaurant now, wants to become manager someday, hoping he can build a ladder with the money he saves to pull his daughter out of the quicksand. He worships her like the Serengeti worships the rain, and he's seen Shrek more times than any of us will ever see God. As he tells me about his should-have-been firstborn, pupils sucked back into galactic irises, but he doesn't cry. That would make him a pussy, and besides, Charlie's too proud to admit he might be selling oranges in a toaster market. Charlie keeps his spine straight by tucking a gun between his grandfather's leather-woven belt and his vertebrae, and he calls it his peace. And late at night, when no one's looking, Charlie tucks peace up underneath his chin, pulling the hammer back until it clicks. And every night, Charlie decides he doesn't deserve peace. But one of these nights, Charlie decides he does want peace. We'll find Charlie splattered across this brick wall. But if we take a look at the bits of pink sponge, we'll notice parts of bark had already made their way into Charlie's skull. And the autopsy will show that Charlie's heart had already grown in tangled roots that spell thirsty. Charlie's feet are thirsty. Charlie's hands are soaked in salt water and his eyes are drying out. He can't remember the last time they saw the ocean, but they burn from too many breezes rolling in on monsoon Christmas. And his head is sprouting twigs that are sprouting leaves, but it's autumn, and they're falling out one by one, branch by branch. Charlie's core is rotted. He's been marked for clearing. They need Charlie to build new plywood platforms for the lower class to stand on. They need Charlie for his fiber to write more lobbyist checks. They need Charlie to sharpen himself at both ends and pick at the food stuck between the teeth of stockbrokers. But his daughter needs her dad to read her another bedtime story. So peace will have to wait. You write poetry, he says. I don't know if I'd call it that. Well, write one for me someday. Okay, but you remember something, man. What's that? Remember that all this isn't forever.
Fuck